from our institute. Today we are going to talking about very special lesson and special chapter from this video series. It's a web component development part 1 video series. I'm talking about how to use session and session tracking with session configuration. It's a so important title. I like to move on. Next slide. Okay. What is session? It's an easy way to session. It's a session means what's the session? Session means user. You like individual session for every user. You as known as previously known, I think. Okay. A session refers to the period of time during which an individual user visits a website. A session begins when the user requests the first page, and during one session, the user can view as many pages as they want. The session ends when the user has not requested any pages for a content timeout. Is the session timeout may depend on server configuration. Typically 30 to 15 minutes. The server has been decided to how to sign out from session. Mainly time note is 30 minutes, but 15 to 30 minutes time is the server decide. In web development, there is a program session is a machine to the manage user information that's unique and to specify the session, such as authentication status, username, and other data that need to be shared across the session. Session for uniquely identified for you. We can install the session with a uniquely identified username, ID card number, or ID name, email. We can install the session with the unique data. You can use to install the session. Okay. I like to move on next slide. Session tracking in server. Okay. Session tracking in server. Session tracking is a way to maintain states data of an user. It is also known as session management in server. HTTP protocol is a stateless, so we need to maintain state using session tracking techniques. Each time use request to the server tests the request as the new request. So we need to maintain the state of an user to recognize to particular user. I previously say also uniquely identify how to uniquely identify session. We can use the session for the user. The user into the session including some user is we have to uniquely identify user. Okay. Why to use session tracking is to recognize the user. It is used to recognize a particular user. Okay. I think everyone okay. I am moving on next slide. Session tracking techniques is a technique. The few techniques, 4 techniques. First of all, cookies, hidden form field, URL rewriting, HTML session. Okay. I move on next slide. Main function of session management in Java. Java is an HTTP object represents as specified user session. Note that HTTP request is HTTP session is an interface defined in the Java X dot servlet package, and the actual implementation is injected into HTTP session servlet request by the server container. You can store session related information within a session in the form of key value pairs. Key and value pairs, you know, hash maps or that kind of key and values. The HTTP request interface defines the set attributes is the key and values method of the store in the key and value entry, and the get attribute key method. We can use the keyword, we can get the attribute value, okay, of the value of the given key. By the default, Java cookies are used for the session tracking. Default, we use cookies. A cookie is called GetSession ID. GetSession's ID is temporarily stored in the web browser. It is used to identify some same use across the multiple requests. Okay, I like to move on. Next slide is getting and creating a session. By default, a session is automatically created when the user accesses the website to get the HTTP session object that represents the user's session. Call the GetSession method of the HTTP request interface in Java script. Java servlets do get or do post method. We can already use to do post method or do get method, because do get method is majority for use, because we only try to do get method, because we can respond by do get method through. Note that HTTP servlet request dot get session method returns the current session associated with a request or create the new session if the request has no session, that is the return HTTP request HTTP server session object is always none or none. Okay, right. I move on next session. Next slide is a session configuration timeout, which is used to inactive on request made of the period of the time there is session will be expired, which means all data associated for the session will be removed, and server the session will be destroyed. Each server different default global session timeout is the example. Normally set on 30 minutes. Okay, I like to see examples. First of all, I will bring it example. If there is I like to first of all bring session timeout. Say session timeout, session config, and session timeout. We can use 30 minutes. There is time call limits, can 30 minutes or 10 minutes, something else. This cookie configuration, you can use cookie name. There is normally there comment and refresh, and there is a servlet call in. Okay, a servlet call in. We can see cookies JSS ID is set. Okay, GetSession is set, but we can override the name, rename or something else. Max age is cookie max age is 10 seconds. There is second. or seconds. Okay, I go to the now, and we can see session. Okay, there is temporarily hand over this cookie, and also this cookie already confirms session activity. But now destroy the Dilshan. But because Dilshan session destroy, because what we have set the max time out period is 10 seconds. Okay, next time move on. A servlet, you can see a servlet session, create the session, and we see the session, and session set attributes one is name, second one is this call for set attributes is, but there are come IP address. Okay, get the remote address is the IP address, because what they are displayed is a localhost IP address. Okay, you can see the IP address I only for print. Next to this session is globally you can use. Session also globally you can use. There is the session dot get attribute, where you can say how to get session in JSP. Then we can already I will so wait. Okay. We have to call it index.jsp. Okay. Now index.jsp call is an empty sessions. It means there are no sessions. Empty session. Okay. Empty session. I will set the session. We have to this set this set comment, because this situation, in case this situation session max page is 10 seconds. Okay, I decide to this one comment. It is already default time is 30 minutes. Okay, 30 minutes, and that we can get. Okay, session stores the Dilshan name, and we will get that name. That's the session management and session tracking. That's it. That's it. I think you have to any clarification for this session video session, how to bring it up. I like to bring some video or some demonstration for this this session program video, and you have to any clarification, you can bring it up comment section for your questions. I will answer in good. Finally, I thank you for watching this video. We will bring it up next video for as soon as possible. Everyone, a nice day. See you.